Some of you really hate poems, but it's a vocab question. We're just focusing on one word. It's not complicated. We don't need to interpret this poem in a deep way. The speaker is looking out a window and observing a wold, or large area of land. At night, the wide and level stretch of wold, which at high noon had basked in quiet gold, far as the eye could see was ghostly white, dark was the night, save for the snow's weird light. I drew the shades far down, crept into bed, hearing the cold wind moaning overhead, through the sad pines my soul, catching its pain when sorrowing with it across the plain. So, I drew the shades. Now, if you're an American, this is or if you just speak English, this is a very easy thing. To draw the shades is to close the shades. Hopefully you can kind of get that from it's night out, there's some weird light, you're closing the shades and getting into bed, right? So there's a lot of reasons why that you would think that, but I wonder, maybe comment here. I'm very curious. If you are not a native English speaker, what does the phrase draw the shades or drew the shades mean to you? First of all, draw, we think of as draw like this. That's maybe why D is an answer. That's not what we're talking about. You can also draw water out of a well, right? Pull it out. So that's more like drain. You can draw inspiration. I don't know if that's why C is an answer, but pulling the shades, I'm pulling them shut. I would have said something like close here, because pull, it's not really like pull. I'd be I'm pulling the shades down, but pulling them, I guess it could be a shade, a vertical shade. I'm thinking of curtains maybe, but a shade is maybe different. So I don't know. I'm getting really caught up in it, but I am curious what people who are not native English speakers think of this. Not just the word draw, which has all sorts of meanings and is very unique in this particular one, but also just the word shades. Do you guys know what shades are, right? The thing on a window, you pull it down or you close it, is that a word that people kind of learn when you're learning English? I'm just curious. I don't know. It seems like such an obvious word to me, but I am curious how hard this question is for non-native English speakers. I think it is very easy for a native English speaker. If I'm wrong about that, please comment as well. But I think this is a good example of a question that's very difficult because of your English ability, and that is frustrating if you're not a native English speaker. But remember, you have things like the TOEFL and other ways to demonstrate your knowledge of English that don't rely on stupid questions like this. So don't let this bother you too much. This is very rare, even for the SAT.